You know, I used to think that this was just another one of those silly fan theories about Bruce Banner being the Hulk, because you know it makes sense that if you recreate the super soldier serum, you'd want to test it out on yourself. But then I read this quote from Thaddeus Ross in the Incredible Hulk movie, and it blew my mind. He says he thought he was working on radiation resistance. I would never have told him what the project really was. But he was so sure of what he was on to that he tested it on himself. And something went very wrong, or it went very right. As far as I'm concerned, that man's whole body is the property of the US Army. Let's break this down. In 2005, a super soldier serum was recreated by Banner and Betty Ross with military scientists consisting of gamma radiation as an activator and stabilizer as opposed to Vita radiation. While the project was being threatened with funding cuts at an early phase, believing that his serum was designed for radiation resistance. So Banner injects himself with an experimental concoction that has the potential to make him stronger, but instead might just kill him. Okay, but then we see this line here that says, I would never have told him what the project really was, which implies that the project wasn't just about radiation resistance. There was more to the serum than that. It was a super soldier serum. But why wouldn't they tell him? They brought him in to help recreate the serum. He's a leading expert on gamma radiation. It makes sense that they would share with him what the end goal is, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they just said, hey, we need you to help us recreate this serum, but they never actually told him that it was a super soldier serum. And the reason why they wouldn't tell him is because of this line right here, which implies that Banner might have done something reckless, which means that they probably didn't want him to know that he was becoming a super soldier. Because if he knew, then he might have tried to use his newfound powers for good, or he might have tried to destroy the serum. And then finally, there's this line at the end that says, as far as I'm concerned, that man's whole body is the property of the US Army. This implies that Banner not only successfully became the Hulk, but that the military now has some claim to him because of whatever happened. If all this is true, then it means that Banner wasn't always trying to be the Hulk. Sometimes he was trying to find a cure. And sometimes he was trying to stop the military from weaponizing the serum. This could also explain why the Hulk sometimes helps people. It's because Banner is in there trying to help people. The Hulk just doesn't want to. So what do you guys think? Does this make sense? Let me know in the comments down below. This has been your host. And until next time, stay nerdy, stay curious.